everybody's doing good. We are going to be releasing part 2 really soon. You guys will see a countdown on the website. Hopefully this goes out probably in 6 to 8 hours, maybe something like that. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
It's ambitious.
Better find some time to read through part 1.
Yeah, hopefully you guys read through part 1 or you're going to have some trouble understanding part 2, that's for sure. You guys can see we have a new guest with us, Jessica.
Hey, Jessica.
Hello.
She's contributed a lot of data and has a lot of resources through her university where she graduated from to help us out as we were outlining everything in part 2 and going through it for the last couple decades.
Yeah.
So you guys can see that the website's here, loaded up top. Start at the top. So you'll notice we've got it sectioned off. It's going to be part 2, part 2.1, and part 2.2. So we've got 3 websites for everybody to look through. It'll cover the history of the morphs, where we came from, where we started, a lot of pictures of the wild types collected from 98 to 2002. And there's some Easter eggs in there, so make sure you look at every photo, hover over every single one. Let us know if you find in the comments, let us know if you find the Easter eggs. From the history, we'll go over to the individual traits, and then we'll cover all the morphs and the combos that are in the hobby. So, what do you guys want to look at next?
Interactions along with the traits, right?
Say again?
We're going to be covering some of the interactions with the traits, too.
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely.
Under the traits, there's going to be subsections that will give you interactions. Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Let's have a look at some of our contributors here. Philippe helped a lot with some of the old archival images that were taken at Isle des Pines. We've got a Google Maps location for Google Earth if you guys want to see where the crested are actually come from. So a lot of that history came from Philippe, and then all the animals that Alan bred originally from 98 to 2002, you'll see archived in there as well.
Yeah, you guys did an amazing job getting everybody to contribute some stuff to this. Like, I'm impressed, and I want to say thank you to you guys for putting it all together. It's going to be a huge resource, I think, for everybody. So.
Yeah, we hope so. There's way more here than we ever thought there would be.
Yeah.
It took a couple of years of collaborating beyond all the experience,
For sure.
And,
for sure.
And with the contributors, actually with all the photos and the history.
Yeah.
Frank Fast was sort of the initial go-between for us.
Yeah, that's great.
Everybody else had all this, with Philippe and Alan.
Yeah.
And so he really kind of helped everybody come together and provide all that to us.
Definitely. So Frank Fast, yeah, for sure. And Philippe and Alan, everybody, and you guys kind of collected all that. Now it's kind of documented, and it's going to be, preserved and here forever, which is awesome. Because it could have just faded away or got lost or whatever. So
yeah,
that's
now
cool.
It's archived. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's something definitely I was afraid would happen. So
yeah,
in case if we never got those backups and those images, they're actually slides. So I put them all into a machine in order to capture the slides and basically make them digital.
Great.
Yeah.
You can see we've got quite a few contributors actually as well that have provided additional resources, documents from where we started from. So Anthony Caponetto has helped out quite a bit. I've been bouncing ideas off of him for years, like we covered in some of the last videos. Obviously, Matt, we appreciate you for all the information that you've contributed with triple X's and super Dalmatians and stuff like that. Don from Reptile City, Korea. He's helped a lot with all the cappuccino stuff. Just a wealth of information there, honestly.
Yeah, nice guy too.
More information that we can handle for a single morph. It's awesome.
Yep.
Mark has contributed quite a bit from Northern Gecko. So thank him very much. A lot of old school animals that he has and things that he's produced over the years you'll find throughout the document as well. And some of the newer stuff like the Xanthics. He's got some really interesting animal that was produced that's producing some offspring. One of his females that kind of like resembles the Betty White. So
Okay.
it's not a lily, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Hannah and Amanda from Greeks, Gecko, and Wicked Arboreals. I appreciate your help with super stripes, empty bags, all that stuff, and looking at the hets. And then Cindy McDonald from Gecko Haven, contributing some of the sable stuff as well, along with some of her friends that she's working with on that phenotype and that morph.
Great.
So you guys got a lot of background information to read through here. We'll see. I mean, there's quite a bit. Where we came from, 98 to 2006. Some of you older people might see remember the symposium. Might remember some awesome Easter egg pictures that you'll see through the document as you're scrolling through, as long as you're reading. The island, actually. So when they were originally collected, so you'll see the fauna on there, which is pretty awesome. You can see it's.
So where did all these pictures come from? Like these specific the island pictures.
Oh, these came from Philippe. So PDV
Okay.
Pine Island photos right here.
Right.
Top.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Can't see it, but yeah, I can't see it. My
Okay. We cover how we derive the morphs, some Punnett squares, some common misconceptions in the hobby, how to use verbiage properly, actually, if you guys want to convert over to proper genetic terminology.
Yeah,
Rather than using.
I was actually using some stuff wrong.
Yeah, hobby terminology is fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, at the end of every document, once you get to the bottom, you can either comment below or go to continue to the next section. So part 2.1, you'll see the morphs. Once it goes through and my internet catches up. So this section is where Jessica helped us out a lot for the last, 16 years that we've been working on this, I think.
Wow.
So ironing out every single phenotype that we could before we ended up meeting Tom. So you can see all the photos and just how we outline each individual trait, all the evidence of it, what it looks like with different traits, multiple traits, and how they combine to make the phenotypes that we see in the hobby.
Yeah, the modes of heritability.
Mm-hmm. So you've got all that information that you guys can cycle through here. What we're not listing is like parent pictures and then offspring pictures and then parent pictures and offspring pictures, just because we've already done it, we've gone through it, and so we're just showing the phenotypes that are produced from that, just because I can't imagine providing a resource like this with parents and offspring pictures individually for every single one. That's the work that we've already done, so we're just going through the results here. Jess, what was your favorite one producing?
My favorite one that I've produced?
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many, especially because I like to breed odd, like clashing phenotypes. And it's kind of where we got all this information was. Like, we tried different things. And I think really what people need to realize is that have fun with it. And, I know everyone wants to have a lot of information. They're like, if I breed this with this, what does it make? Find out, try it, Have fun with it. It's really fun and really rewarding to kind of see like all the weird stuff that you can make when you're kind of making your own cookbook. But we'll give the information, like that's why we wrote this was, this is the information on what we've learned over time. A lot of it was just trying it out. I can't say what my favorite was because I love everything. is why we have such a vast collection.
Right.
All right, so let's see. You'll see the last section will contain a ton of combo morphs. And what's a combo morph versus what's a trait? So this is one of the sections that Tom and I really focused on to really iron out everything and make sure it all worked.
Yeah, the tiger section was kind of a big deal, and
Yeah.
Some of the more common names, harlequin, tiger, Now it's all broken down into traits. What actually makes it? They're not single. Like tiger's a single trait, but there's other things that can affect it. So there's other traits that in the presence of tiger makes it do different things. So we talk about epistasis, which is all over the place. This was part of the polymorphic species.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little confusing with those terminologies. Like, so we're gonna get into that and like kind of hash that out at some point too, right? Like,
Oh yeah, we'll have some
epistasis.
follow-up videos on specific, traits
Yeah.
and
Good.
interactions of those traits.
Yeah.
It's pretty much covered here, but I think we can go into more detail if we do maybe some short videos.
Definitely.
A couple
Yeah,
sections.
absolutely. I think there's a lot of contributors that want to do sections and cover some of the sections that we end up covering in our videos. But this last section, you'll go over structure, from head structure to neck structure to dorsal to size, breeding, and all that.
Yep.
But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. There's so much information there. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Even eye coloration, polydactyls, what happens with old age, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to keep telling Anthony, what do you add more for? What do you add more for? And then he's like, oh, I had to go to 2 web pages. Now we're on 3 web pages.
It exists.
Oh.
We gotta add it.
This is probably more information than we've seen since
It's
the
It's
inception,
it's incredible. You guys put together. It's absolutely incredible.
So, yeah, start reading. If you have questions, send them all to Matt and
That's
Mark.
Kevin at PangeaReptile.com.
Tom and I are taking a break, and so yeah. Have fun with it, guys. Honestly, but most importantly, don't take it too seriously. Tom and I work really hard on this. It's got a lot of information that is probably going to take forever to digest, really. And we don't know everything yet. We're still learning new stuff. So there's new interactions out there. There's a bunch of stuff that people haven't done. And there's some results that Tom and I talked about that while we were discussing, we were saying, well, if that's true, then you should be able to make this phenotype. And in those 2 years, we planned a couple projects within our own collections to try to do that, and it proved true. So the guide does work. It works really well. And yeah, have fun with it.
For sure.
So I do want to point out that not every discussion is an argument. So we like to open up to discussion. Like, read it. If something confuses you, or if you think that something in your collection clashes with the information that's on here, like, please, like, by all means, join the discussion. Like, we want to hear from you, and we want to see the results that you've gotten. I think that's why this is so large, is because we've had collaborators that had the sample size and the experience with breeding multiple generations of it. But we want to see what you guys think and what you've seen with your results.
Yeah, don't argue, brainstorm, right?
Brainstorm, yeah, discussion.
Yeah, I love it.
Yep.
All right, anything guys you want to cover, or we want to let our readers go read?
Let them read, and we'll start the series and cover all these topics. There's a lot to cover.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Cool.
All right.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Have fun.